question page was like.
Sorry. We'll wait a sec for everyone to get ready.
Look at the ways you can explore your students' picks and counts.
Oh, the checklist.
Ah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, that was the first one. Wow, my brain. I just thought that was a good way to just like informally get information just from observing.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's pretty much what I was saying in my post. And it's kind of like a basis on which you can like assess some of the aspects of like the criteria that we're looking at.
And I like breaking it into Bix and Calps because like all the assessment questions, it's like you can assess where your student's at, but then by using those you can see like which area they actually are doing better in.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I felt like that was something some of the assessments didn't address was the difference between Bix and Calc.
Yeah.
It's like, are they talking? Cool.
Yeah.
It's like really important to keep in mind that like and for the practicum I have all level 3s, but just because they're like talking perfectly fine with us doesn't mean that they don't need help anymore.
Or like help on their academic language versus like social language, because those are two completely different things.
And the questions in the song are like, I felt more surface level, like, let's see. They were like, what's your favorite subject? And like,
Who's your best friend?
who's your friend? Yeah.
When's your birthday? Can you write your name for me?
So that's more like Bix.
There's like a little bit of helps type of stuff, but it's not as much focused on that as it is like their ability to like write things in like in a way that is clear and like pretty generically like correct in English.
I think I've gotten more like CALPS understanding through like our lessons and assignments that we've had them do.
Yeah, which goes into that like one part that I was asking about, like could you use this as what was it? They're called anecdotal.
Oh yeah.
Something like journal.
Yeah.
And then I said yes because it's a great way to remember like not only how your group did, but how your specific student that you're doing the case study on did. And like I know that Christy and I, every time after we teach, we talk about like how it went and what we would have like maybe done differently or what like didn't go so well. And so we're just like doing that orally a lot as well as like writing it down when we do our reflections, which I feel like both of those are super helpful because then that kind of helps you to determine where your student is.
Yeah.
I also said that like the checklist I could use it like as a basis, you know, for my questions.
Yeah.
And then like however the student kind of answers them, when like I go and I observe in class, I can see like if it was like accurate. You know, the student's like, yeah, I'm really good at this, and then you go and you see it in class, you're like, okay, so there's something going on. They think that they're really strong in this, and maybe they actually aren't aware that they're, you know, kind of missing something.
Yeah.
Or vice versa. The kid's like, no, I can't do that. I can't do that. You can do it in class. You're like, wow. So yeah, it kind of combines them, which was nice because
Yeah, that's a good point because just because someone is like confident in something doesn't mean that they're actually doing it correctly. Like you could have a student who's super excited about math, but they're just like not understanding it. Whereas you could have a student who's like not excited about math who totally gets it. So it's not just like what the student is interested in, but also what where their strengths are and where they need improvement. I don't know if that makes sense, but
So yeah, how have you guys like informally assessed your students, or formally if you have done that?
We've only done informally so far, but Emily, who's teaching with me, she and I actually had a quick chat with them the other day because they were like, they were saying different things in their home languages, and so we were like, oh, you're speaking Spanish. What other languages do you guys speak at home? How much do you speak that at home? Like, do your parents speak that? Do your parents speak English with you sometimes? So we just casually had a little chat about it, and it also helped bring them back on task because they were like getting off
gone to that yet, and that's definitely something we need to do.
Yeah, I know that like for us during recess time, we talk a lot with them. Like there was one day when Christy and I were sitting with two of our students, and they were eating their snacks, and we were just talking about things like how many brothers and sisters do you have, and that sort of thing. And they were like, we kept it really casual, and like I think we were both genuinely interested, which is what makes those like interactions more like meaningful, as opposed to being like, let me write down all of your personal information on a piece of paper, because I feel like that's such a bad way to go about it, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Sitting there with like a
clipboard. Yeah, just be like, you obviously suck here. Like, oh gosh, no. But I feel like when you do that, the student then constantly feels like you're judging them, which is totally not the point of the relationship that you have. And so I feel like it's really good. Like, even if we're going to do the solemn or Salome protocol thing, I think it would be better if we, like, did it like, I'm going to interview you.
Yeah.
And it's going to, like, I just want to know some more about you, you know, that sort of thing, instead of it being like, this is an assessment because I'm writing a paper on you, and the only reason I'm here is for my class, you know, sort of thing, where it's like, if you make it meaningful and you have an actual relationship with your students, like, assessments are going to come across as being a lot more, like, friendly and, like, non-threatening.
I've really just tried to like sit with her like while she's working on things, and like I don't know, like for the wordless book, like I worked with her on that, and like just tried to see how much English she could get from the book, and like whenever she didn't know a word, I tried to like have her think of other words that might be similar to it, and like just through all the assignments that I've done, like looking specifically at what she's written and like how she responds. That's really the only way that I've like assessed her at all.
We've done a lot of written work too, which I feel like is a way to assess them as well. Even just like their flag project that they did the first day, or like this last week they did a worksheet.
Yeah, I feel like we have like a variety of stuff, like, and it's obviously because like this class is kind of centered around doing the variety stuff. But like one of our assignments, we had them read, like I had them read that poem, and then we had them put all the pictures together, and so like there's a variety of ways that we can kind of like when they were reading off the paper, like right then I was like, okay, so this is our struggle, and then like we always give them opportunities to talk and present too, so it's like then we can see how well they present their thinking, and that's obviously like how it's way different than when they're just like
Yeah.
and then we went and observed them in their classroom too, and that was really interesting.
It was.
That gave me a lot more insight than our normal time together. Because
Yeah. I think it's because the focus is on you just being an observer and not the teacher. So, like, you're less focused on what you're doing and more focused on what they're doing, if that makes sense.
and just seeing them in the natural like school setting. Yeah, it's interesting.
I was going to add the other thing that Emily and I do is because our kids are so excited about science, we have science journals. They record their observations in each week, and then we take them home to keep them safe, and we can like look at those and be like, oh,
Cool.
this is what they wrote.
Those are so cool.
Have you been doing science then the whole time?
Yeah,
That's cool.
connecting it to
That's a good
science.
idea.
Do you, like, do dialogue journals? Like, do you rate in them as well, or do you just kind of, like, look over them? And
We just kind of look over them and like keep them safe so the kids don't lose them.
that makes sense.
And they're all level 3, you said?
Okay.
So they're all writing. What grade?
Third grade.
Okay.
That's kind of awkward.
Because ours are level 3s too.
Yeah,
The
we
level
only
2s
have,
don't make it.
well, the only level 2 that we had was the boy who only came the first day, who was a 5th grader, and then he never came again, so.
So both of your case study student is level 3 then, and then same with you guys. Okay, so my case study student is level 1. Same
That's a lot
with
different.
Naomi's, and we've hardly heard either of them speak many words in English at all.
Wow.
So
Do either of you
It's hard.
speak the language that they speak?
sometimes No, I don't. I mean, I can pick up on words in Spanish, but I definitely don't speak Spanish. So like I can kind of pick up on what they say sometimes, and we also have our student who translates.
Right.
But in general, we haven't heard a lot of spoken English from either of our students.
And like this project was supposed to be designed around a level 1 student too, right? And it's interesting because I feel like because we have level 3s and it's been so easy for us to contact them and talk to them, and that's so hard for
It's hard.
Yeah.
because like this assignment doesn't even have like if you need an interpreter, if you need
Yeah.
doesn't offer any of that.
See, the problem is though that like even though the Solemn, whatever it is, protocol has it in Spanish, if you don't speak Spanish, then you're not even going to know what you're asking or how they're responding. See, like for me, I understand Spanish well enough that I can ask it and like pronounce the words correctly, and like I understand what I'm saying, and then have the student respond and know what they're telling me.
Right.
So I feel like I have an advantage in that way, and I know like I don't know. It's tough. That's gotta be tough. Like working with someone that like you don't know how to really communicate with other than through like gestures and like some kind of technology or something.
How are you planning on even assessing that student then, or like interviewing?
Well, I think that like Naomi and I have just kind of realized that having our translator student has kind of held them back from trying to express themselves in English. And for the first 2 days at least, they were really, really shy. Like didn't say anything, and I think that contributes to it. So I think that with like the more comfortable they are with us, and if I were to sit down and ask some of those like basic questions, like what do you like to do in school, I think that we can like have a conversation. I think that barrier just needed to be broken down a little bit, because just in the last time we were there, like both of them started to speak up way more than we've ever heard, like speaking in Spanish and in English. But it's like, I think that at first we were like, oh my gosh, we can't talk to them at all. But I think that they know more than they're showing, and now that they're starting to like open up more to us, that we'll be able to have like a surface conversation. Like I think so. Yeah.
That kind of makes me think of another question though, like what would you do if they really were still in that silent stage?
Yeah.
That's
So how do you assess them or interview them if they're not even really speaking in their home language because they're like still in shock or whatever?
And like what we talk about with like the real like interviews, and like you get a translator, like in your school, but like in our situation that's not really applicable. We're not going to bring in a translator. Of course, I have a student who's a translator, but that's not appropriate either. So it's like, what would you do? I think that we can communicate, and I think that we'll be able to all be able to get information.
Yeah.
But yeah, if it was in that situation, I don't know.
Maybe if you were working with parents who like specifically just like spoke Spanish, then you would want to have an interpreter if you were having like a meeting with them, like it was kind of describing last week and this week. But anyway, so I think it just depends on the situation and like what exactly like you're interviewing them about.
Yeah, that's gonna matter too. That's what like I can ask her the surface level questions that she knows how to talk about.
Yeah.
Because she talks about them to her friends and at school. And I hear it on the playground too, like when her and our other L1, like they're good friends, and every time we're at recess they play tetherball together like every day. And we can hear like sometimes they throw out English words, So I can kind of tell like where that is, like what kind of expressions she uses in English, which is interesting because both of them speak Spanish, and it's just them playing and they're speaking in Spanish, and then they say something in English. So yeah, that's cool.
Maybe they're just like that's a way that they practice English, which is kind of cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's cool.
The next one kind of had to do with the interview process and how parents might react to it. interesting because I'd been like thinking about this always from the perspective of I'm just going to be interviewing the student,
Right.
and I kind of forgot that interviewing the parents is something we'll do as teachers someday
Yeah,
too.
yeah, totally. Yeah, definitely. I feel like one of the ways that I could see an interview going wrong would be if you were like not like insensitive about it, and also you were well prepared to go in there and like give them an interview. Because like for example, if you asked them questions about like where their kid was born or how long they've been in the United States and things like that, then they're going to get uncomfortable maybe if they're like undocumented, because that's a safety issue for them, and so they might not feel comfortable with that, which is why I was saying in my post, like, you need to build that relationship where you know there's that trust between the parent and the teacher, and also the student and the teacher, so that they know anything you say in my classroom is between us, and I, like, it is not my job to report you to anyone, or, like, my job is to teach your child and to help you.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's pretty much the most important thing about that.
I put that one in mine too, because like in the bridging barriers with migrant youth class, like a lot of what we learn about is how like it's really important to be sensitive to like students who may be undocumented or have undocumented parents.
Yeah.
Because some of the states it was like harboring an undocumented person in your car or your house was like an offense, and then it started getting on teachers too. The teachers needed to report it in some states, so it's like still that huge fear.
Yeah.
Like
Something we talked about in SPED, huh?
yeah.
Yeah.
In my post, I was just like, I feel like it needs to be like stated that it's a positive thing. Like this is good. This is exciting. I'm so excited to interview you. I want to get to know you. I want to get to know your kid. Like if they even possibly think like this could be a bad thing, like that's a problem.
And that's why I guess you also need interpreters that you know that you can trust. Because the thing is, like, if they're going out and talking to people about what has happened in that session, then that's...
interpreters have a code of ethics too.
Yeah.
And if they break it, you're fired.
That's good. That's a really good thing to know. I didn't know that.
Yeah, because my mom was an interpreter for a really long time, and I'd ask her about it. She'd be like, "Yeah, you're just not allowed to tell anyone anything. You have to go in and just file it all through and then forget about it."
Yeah.
Yeah, she said she couldn't work for doctors' offices and lawyers and stuff because it would be so like heart heavy.
Emotionally.
So she would only work in classrooms. Because then she could just be like, blah, 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 and then go home and would forget it all because it was all classroom stuff she didn't have to know about.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I was thinking of this more like exactly about our situation. So it's like us interviewing these students who we've only known for like a few weeks, and it's like the parents don't know who we are.
Yeah.
And maybe the parents maybe don't understand exactly, like they have their children in a program, which is great, but maybe they don't understand exactly how it works. And like we're not their teachers, and we've never talked to the parents before. So it's like we're just asking their kids these questions that maybe they don't really know, like, you know, what's our purpose of it, and that could be like a little iffy, you know.
I feel like maybe in the process of signing up for it that they know that this is part of it, because
that's what I thought.
she said that we got permission from the school to interview the kids, so that means that they must have checked in with the families and made sure it was okay.
Yeah, that's part of the permission slip they all had to
Yeah.
sign.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. I was just thinking, like, you know,
It's probably
we don't know them, they don't know us, and like
I feel like
we're just
part of it is that it's like free after school childcare, which, you know, like a lot of people want to take advantage of that, and the thing is that I think parents are just concerned that their kids are in a place that they know they're safe and being watched by people who are like have their best interest in mind. And I feel like the school has probably communicated that with them, or I hope that they have. So yeah, and like living in this area, there's so many student teachers like coming from Western.
Yeah, that's true too.
I feel like they might be used to that, but I don't know. But that's a really good point.
The other thing I thought about with the parent situation was it made me think back to that reading where the teacher did the home visit and had like done all this research, but hadn't
Oh gosh. Oh gosh.
hadn't actually like talked to the student or the ELL specialist
Yeah.
at the school to figure out if that family actually met the research that
Yeah.
she was doing.
Yep.
Which was interesting. So that just kind of reaffirmed for me, like when you're interviewing people, don't go in with assumptions. Like
Yep.
talk to the kid, be like, is there anything I could do to help make your parents comfortable in the classroom or stuff like that. And
Yeah.
like don't just go based on what the internet says.
I remember, I think it might have been in bed or like ELL 431, but I remember they were talking about like even the furniture that you use when you're doing a parent-teacher meeting, like can have an impact. Like you don't want to sit parents in like child's desks because then it's like they're being like diminished or something like that. So it's like you want to be at a table like we are right now where it's like you're all at the same level and that sort of thing. And I feel like there are all these little tiny like things that go into the interview process, and it's like making those all come together is like so much more complicated than it might seem to be, especially when you're working with parents who have students who are like in ELL programs. So
That's like one of the steps you should take. That wasn't defined in that chapter, but
yeah, it wasn't like
yeah, it's something to think about.
Yeah, what were some of the other steps? Was there any part of that process that confused you guys and might make a good many question?
Wasn't Christy? Were you asking something?
Yeah, I guess I was mostly just like trying to find if there were specific steps or if there's things that we know that we have like knowledge of that is like there's like a set of rules, like unknown rules.
Yeah.
It's like these are what you have to do.
I just went from like what should be done to prepare for the interview.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
issues should be considered?
Yeah.
Specific form, relevant questions. So like basically, it's like you should consider the parents' involvement. You should like use a specific format so that you're staying on track and so that you're not like I don't know asking
unrelated
questions. Yeah. And like determining if your questions are relevant to the situation, like just things to think about before you go into the interview process. I feel like more than a step-by-step process.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Well, what happens, like, I know at my school we do parent-teacher conferences like the first week of school. You don't know the kids, you've never like met them. Like, what do you do about that when you're like, okay, I'm meeting these parents for the first time, I've never met their kid or I've never met the parents. Like, what do you do if you can't prepared?
Yeah.
I don't know, like if you'll need interpreters or anything.
I think you could. They should, though. It'd be different if you were a kindergarten teacher because then the student hasn't been in the system yet. But like, if it were like a second grader, then they might have like paperwork on that second grader that shows like their ELL level and like their parents' home language and things like that. So I think like talking to the ELL specialist and also the SPED teacher in case there are students who might have special needs in the classroom, like going through your list of students and kind of like just doing any like research you can on them to prepare. I feel like that's maybe a way that you could try to do that, but also like
What about migrant students?
Yeah.
Newcomers?
Yeah. And it's hard because especially at those things, it's like the teacher talking to the parents in like a big group. It's not like a one-on-one thing. That's like the beginning of the year things at least. And then you go into like conferences in October or whatever.
One school who had one-on-one first thing.
Oh,
Interesting.
so that's weird. We did like an open house sort of thing where it was like you'd go and meet the specialist teachers and the principal and like the homeroom teacher, like the general teacher.
It was like
So what would they
like,
have
this
done?
is what I've seen so far. It's like
What week? That's bizarre.
and then weird.
That is bizarre.
And then they have another one mid like quarter or whatever.
Yeah.
But they always have one really early.
We had one like October, like there was the back to school sort of thing where it was an open house. Then you had one mid-October, late October where you did the parent teacher conference. Then the spring And
Are you talking about school that you went to?
Mm-hmm.
Like high school?
Elementary.
You
Oh.
This is very specific information that you remember.
yeah.
I don't remember
Oh, that's
interviewing in elementary school or conferences or anything.
Oh, my parents always did all of them.
I don't think my parents ever went to a conference with my teachers.
And that's the thing is not all the parents are gonna come either.
Yeah.
And the especially with the readings and everything, the research that we've done on families of ELL students, a lot of those people have to work,
Yeah.
you know? And not just ELL families, but other families. There are times when you're not gonna be able to have those conversations with the parents at that night, which is why you make special
Yeah.
plans with them at a time that's most convenient at a place that they feel comfortable in.
Mm-hmm.
Which I feel is a ton of work, but
Yeah.
also it's worth it in the end because then you have that relationship that you're building with your families where it's I know that you matter in my students' education and I want you to know that you matter and that we're a team here and we're both trying to do the best we can for our students, even if that means that you have to work, you do what you gotta do, I'll do my best, so.
So the way you just said that, meet with them at a time and place that's good for them. That almost makes me wonder, is it still professionally acceptable to I don't know, do a coffee or a lunch date or something?
I think it just depends on the situation, probably the age of it.
I don't see why that would be not appropriate.
It's a public place.
Yeah. Well, it's almost like a muddy question, what defines appropriate interviewing meeting places.
Have you ever thought about this from the student's perspective? What if in elementary school, a teacher was going to everyone's houses? I'm not trying to make this sound weird, but just students being oh, Miss S was at my house last night.
Right?
Miss S had dinner at my house last night. Other kids would be like, what?
Yeah,
And,
I'm so jealous.
It would be weird. Yeah, it'd
Yeah.
be jealous, or it'd be oh,
Yeah.
she came over to my house, didn't come to your house, or why was she at my house? And I've never thought about that until right now. What they
Fun insight into that.
Yeah.
I had a 5th grade teacher who came over to my place for
Oh.
dinner. And it's interesting because, at least as far as I remember, it wasn't because she had any pressing concerns about my behavior or work
Yeah.
at school. It was just to hang out and get to know my family.
Did you think it was cool?
Yeah, I actually was a super nerd. I got really
Oh,
excited,
yeah.
and I did this science experiment to show off to her when
Oh
she arrived.
I would totally do that. I would totally do that.
I'd probably be pet my cat.
That's what I
no,
think
no,
of. I
no.
think of more of a situation in my experience that a teacher would go to someone's house who maybe was friendly with the parents.
Yeah.
And maybe a good student that she would want to and then that would be almost more the student would come to school and be oh, she came over and had dinner at my house last night, is friends with my parents. It would be more a better than you type of situation. Whereas the reason that we would have home interviews would be a little bit different than that. And that's a weird situation.
Yeah, I don't remember if I talked with my classmates or if they reacted weirdly to it.
I was thinking
I think it's especially at elementary school level, it's a lot different than high school because I know that in high school, we have a family friend who he went to our church and he was in high school and he was the student of one of the women in the congregation. So they went to the same church, but they were teacher and student. And so they had kind of a different relationship, which is weird, but also I feel at the high school level you have more drawn boundaries with those kind of things, and you understand what that relationship is and what it entails, and there wasn't a preference or anything shown for him just because she knew him in this other way.
That's if coaches or your teachers too. You come up and be what's up, Frank? And they're
Yeah. Or my dad and his brother and sister had my grandparents as principal and teacher.
Yeah, that's always strange, huh?
Yeah, and I'm I would not want to do that to my kid.
To have your...
Yeah.
I always thought about that. My friends whose parents were teachers.
Yeah, I would feel bad because I don't know. I feel like I'd be too focused on them and not focused on the rest of the class, and like it would like kind of screw with my mind. But I don't know.
Either that or the opposite.
Or the opposite.
Yeah.
I thought.
Like where you don't pay enough
You're like,
attention.
oh, you're fine. You don't need help.
I read you every night. Like, you're good. No, yeah, that could be. But yeah, it's just weird. Like the different dynamics that teachers have with parents in the communities. Like that's why it's like different depending on every single student.
Or sometimes when it's like, I spend more time with your child than you do.
Yeah.
That's a weird situation.
Yeah.
I had that kind of situation in daycare I worked at for the past 2 summers. Like, we're an all-day daycare, and then like it's a really small local place. So like you go to the grocery store and run into the families,
Right.
Yeah.
and like the kids would come running up and hugging you,
Yeah.
and the parents would be like, "Who's this stranger?"
Yeah.
And I'd be like,
Your
"Oh,
child all day long.
I work at the daycare.
Yeah.
I'm not a creep."
Yeah. Although I have had random kids run up to me before and give me a hug, and I was just like, "What is happening?"
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I don't know. But yeah. I feel like it's all about how you react to that situation. Because if you're just like, "Hi," and you're like, "I'm not touching them, I'm not touching them," it's like, okay.
I don't know this one.
Yeah. This is not mine. Yeah. It's just funny.
What do you guys, I'm curious, what are you doing for the family engagement? It's like completely shift.
Good segue. I went to the Promise K night, which is like, they have a preschool program that's like preparing kids for kindergarten, but they use kindergarten funding to use it as like an actual daytime classroom. So it's really great for students who like need more emotional or like academic development even before they go into kindergarten. And like, especially for the parents who can't afford preschool because it's so freaking expensive. Like, I thought it was a really cool thing, and only a few families were there, but like I got to talk to the principal, and then there were some people from the district who were there, and like some of the teachers from the school, and then like some people from the public library came in, and it was really cool just to see like how all these people are interacting within this community, and like what they do is basically just prepare these kids for kindergarten so that like the kids who otherwise would maybe be lagging behind even at the beginning of the year would have that gap kind of bridged to get them to where the other kids will be.
Where was this at?
At Carl Coach.
Okay, cool. That's
Yeah.
what I thought.
It's
That's
like a
the only school I've heard that
district.
has that.
I think like there are a couple other places that do, but like I think it's really actually great that like they figured out a way to fund it without making it like more expensive or anything. Like they just use the kindergarten funding for it, and it makes total sense to me because like this is like having those kind of programs is how you help the kids who need like that extra academic and social and emotional development to get there, and so they can be more successful right off the bat, and they don't feel like, oh, I'm in school, I'm already like lost, and I feel like this is not a place I should be in, that sort of thing. So it like builds that positive self-esteem like really early on.
Yeah, it's a really cool thing.
Yeah, it was really awesome, and they did like some fun activities, and like they were showing parents how they could like start working on counting with their students and like other things like to help them at home, like building those like skills. And I was like, this is so awesome because it's like reaching out to the community and saying like, we want to help your kids succeed, not just in like K through 5th. Like we want to help you to like see them improve like right away. So yeah, it was really awesome. And so I think I'm just going to do like a write-up on that and then maybe put some like slides together and kind of go over like break down what it was like and sort of like what they did. But
Cool, that's awesome. I'm pretty sure we're we're all creating our own.
Is that correct? I am.
Yeah. So.
There's option 3 too. You can interview an ELL specialist, and based on the interview, create a presentation.
Physically, like, don't have time in my schedule to visit an ELL specialist or go to an ELL night.
I just think I missed out on the ones that were happening.
Yeah.
I did that a little off, but
And like, there's a parent night at Vista, but it's Tuesday during class.
Yeah, it'll be a little late.
I was thinking I was gonna base mine off of something I saw in practicum or heard about in practicum that my practicum teacher organized, which was basically just like a family night, like where everyone brought different food and game night. So I was gonna expand on that because I thought it was really cool. And then the kids came back the next week and they were really excited about it, and all the teachers were saying that it was a huge success at the school. So I was gonna kind of take that and extend on that idea and add more to it because I thought it was a really cool thing.
I might base mine off of something my high school did, which was called the Taste of ICS. And it was each room was dedicated to different cultures that were represented within the student body. And then they could bring in any traditional garb they had. They would cook traditional dishes that their family knew. And then you could go around and try foods and ask questions about what they were wearing, and then if they wanted to share about holidays or stuff that they celebrated, they could do that. It was really fun, and then people kind of rotated in and out of the room, so everyone got a chance to go around the school and visit.
That's really cool.
Along the same lines there.
Cool.
We need one more money question.
I know. I've been trying to think of
Wait, how many money questions do we have to have?
3. I was trying to think I thought it was 3. Last quarter was 3. But John as well. I was thinking of one earlier, but it was similar to the one we did create. What defines an appropriate meeting place for interviews? So that's one. But we can break that into 2. And the second part of it can be, does doing a home interview create a power struggle dynamic for the students if the teachers visit some homes and not others?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think you should break those up because those are 2
Yeah.
different issues.
38.
Actually, hey, if you're just tuning in, there's kind of around 27 too. Because you guys were talking about so much in detail about that, and it was just
we were all questioning everything.
Because if you visit some students and not others, and just
Yeah.
I don't know. As a teacher, I'm big fear of home visits because I'm not cool outside of my zone.
Yeah.
I have to go to other
Yeah.
people's, and I'm
I think one of the things that they told us to do though in 431 was to have an administrator or another teacher go with you for safety reasons as well as liability issues, and that way you're just kind of covering all your bases. And then if you were to go with the ELL specialist, that might be a really great thing to do because then you have somebody right there who can kind of help you to guide the conversation.
Right.
So
That's smart. I like that. Well, I know you have to boogie for work. So maybe we should wrap this up.
I think for one.
we pretty
this
much
one was definitely didn't have any jigsaw covered it.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
jigsaw sections. It was pretty straightforward.
Sweet. Anything else?
Any questions?
We're ready to get on some case study work on Monday.
Woo!
Yeah.
Same.
My throat, Eddie. Class next week, right?
Yes.
Yeah.